Hello, Christ is in our midst. I'm Father Kevin Long of St. Elias Antiochian Orthodox Church in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Today's Sunday, January 21st, 2024, and here are the readings for today. Today's epistle reading is from St. Paul's letter to the Colossians, chapter 3, verses 4 through 11. Brethren, when Christ, who is our life, appears, then you also will appear with him in glory. Put to death, therefore, what is earthly in you, fornication, impurity, passion, evil desire, and covetousness, which is idolatry. On account of these the wrath of God is coming. In these you once walked when you lived in them. But now put them all away: anger, wrath, malice, slander, and foul talk from your mouth. Do not lie to one another, seeing that you have put off the old nature with its practices, and have put on the new nature, which is being renewed in knowledge, after the image of its Creator. Here there cannot be Greek and Jew, circumcised and uncircumcised, barbarian, Scythian, slave, free man, but Christ is all and in all. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 17, verses 12 through 19. Let us be attentive. At that time, as Jesus entered a village, he was met by 10 lepers, who stood at a distance and lifted up their voices and said, Jesus, Master, have mercy on us. When he saw them, he said to them, Go and show yourselves to the priests. And as they went, they were cleansed. Then one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back, praising God with a loud voice. And he fell on his face at Jesus' feet, giving him thanks. Now he was a Samaritan. Then said Jesus, Were not 10 cleansed? Where are the 9? Was no one found to return and give praise to God except this foreigner? And he said to him, Rise and go your way. Your faith has made you well. Glory to thee, our God. Glory to thee. As I have said before, it is my firm belief that we are created as worshiping creatures. The majority of our senses and even our abilities, the way our voices are formed, the way our eyes see beautiful things, the way our ears perceive beautiful things, all of these things point towards a desire, I think, for worship. Because we've been created to add our abilities to other people's abilities to make truly beautiful things. Think about a symphony orchestra. Each instrument has its own color and tone. Some are in different octaves or different ranges. Some have a reedy sound to them, of course, and some have that more rich sound of a stringed instrument. Trumpets. All of those things sound on their own to be rather impressive, but together they are something altogether different, beautiful, heavenly. And it's the same with us as people. And so when we think about what we have been given by God, and we think about all the different things that he has done for us, it lends ourselves towards expressions of gratitude. And that's what we see in today's gospel reading. Because in the gospel we have 10 lepers. Each of them has had to leave behind important things that they see as important to their families, maybe their businesses, maybe something else. But whatever it is, once they have leprosy, they have to leave the general public and wander around with people like they are, unclean people. Unclean. That's what they had to yell when they would see someone who wasn't afflicted with leprosy. They would have to shout unclean so that the person would run away from them, stray, so that they didn't have to be exposed to the horrors of leprosy. So when they encounter Christ and they ask him to have mercy on them, and he heals them, he says, Go and show yourselves to the priests. And before they have an opportunity to even begin that journey, they realize that Christ has healed them. And they immediately go. Now, some of them may have gone and showed themselves to the priest. Some of them probably didn't. They just went home to be with their families. But that Samaritan, went and fell down before Jesus, worshiping God. And that one is the worshiping creature. It is not that difficult for us to give thanks to God, but it is something that we should do on a routine basis. Living a life, a liturgical life, is the way that we live in a form that shows just who we are as God's created beings. We can go and do whatever it is that we want for the remainder of the week. I mean, obviously within reason, things that are good and beneficial to our souls. But for a time, we are called to collect together and to add our voices to one another and give thanks to the God who has indeed saved us. That's why it's important to go to liturgy. Listening to a YouTube video is all well and good, but if this YouTube video does not make you want to love God and make you want to go to church and to pray and to live a life that is in keeping with the gospel teachings, then it's just another YouTube video. But if it does drive you to want to worship the undivided Trinity, well, then mission accomplished. That is the ultimate goal and aim of anything that instructs in the way of orthodoxy. The idea is that we are made to worship God. And so everything that we do, as a priest or even as a layperson, everything that we do should lend itself towards some form of giving thanks to God, some form of doxology. And it is no coincidence that doxology and orthodoxy have the same word in it. It means to give correct praise. Doxology is the act of giving praise, and all of us, in all of our walks of life, should be doing just that, finding creative and beautiful ways to give thanks to God through the gifts that He has given us. When we do that, we will know peace, we will know joy, we will know truth, we will know beauty, and we will get ultimately to know our God. The Samaritan was cured of his leprosy, and his immediate response wasn't to go and obey Jesus, wasn't to go and drop everything and go resume a normal life. It was to go and offer the worship and praise that are appropriate to give to the one whose mercy overflows over all things. To God be all glory, honor, and worship forever and ever. Amen.